There's one. Get him. Get him. Get him. Little bluegill again. Decent bluegill or bass? There's no way that's a bluegill. Welcome back, everybody. So we have extremely high temperatures. I'm sure most of the country does too, which means those water temps are rising and fishing can get really tough and really slow. One way that you can most certainly still catch them is a Carolina rig. And we're going to step that up one notch today and not only fish a Carolina rig, but a micro Carolina rig. So there's a fish right there. Let's get after it. So if you're new to fishing, a Carolina rig is a phenomenal way to catch bass, especially in the middle of summer when temps are really, really high. It is able to present that bait down at the bottom where those fish typically are in a relatively slow and lethargic manner. So those fish are able to get that bait much, much easier. They'll bite this when they won't bite a whole lot of other things. And you can cover some water faster than you can like with a Texas rig or something like that. So basically what it is, it's some sort of slip sinker. You can use brass, you can use an egg sinker, you can use a bullet sinker, doesn't really matter. Typically with some sort of bead, or you can have clackers and stuff like that to make some noise. A swivel, some length of leader, depending on how, you know, the depth that you're fishing. And then some sort of soft plastic. I typically like a soft plastic that is a little bit wider of a bait so that it kind of has a slow, more natural fall, similar to this bait. And we're using the Metacraw from Eurotackle. It's 1.8 inches, tiny little thing. We can catch bluegill, crappie, perch, bass, anything. So should be phenomenal. Even if the fish aren't biting that well, we have the opportunity to catch a lot of different species. So that should increase our odds a little bit. But yeah, basically you're throwing that out on the bottom, dragging it along. This weight is hitting the bottom, picking up silts and everything else like that, catching fish's attention, and then you have this slow meandering plastic behind it with a supernatural fall because the weight isn't directly attached to that leader line. So it's pretty much what it is. We're going to get out there and start chucking around, see if we can't catch a couple. Let's get after it. There's one. What do we got? I don't think it's a bass. No, it is not. It is a nice little bluegill to start off. Oop. And that's why we're microfishing, so we can catch anything. Little bluegill on an EWG. So funny. And I'm just microfishing, but by no means do you have to do this. You can, I would say more people fish normal bass tackle, and you can actually use some like mag worms, like some 10-inch worms. That's probably pretty common if you're trying to catch some bigger fish, but we're just trying to catch anything. And I highly doubt that'll be the only thing that we catch. There's one. Get him. Get him. Little guy again. What are we, a bluegill? Or we got something else? Hey, little bluegill. That is a purple one. Very purple. Holy cow. I don't know if the camera does that guy justice. It's not a bad bluegill at all. Probably a little bit over an 8. Maybe 8.5. But super, super purple. Alright, let him go. Catching bluegills on plastics. Haven't caught a real big one yet, but I'm sure it'll happen. I'm a little surprised we haven't had a bass yet, but maybe closer to dusk. There's one. Get him. Is that a bluegill? That's a bluegill. Might be a little bit better. Oh, that's a good bluegill. that's pushing over 9 for sure. There we go. I didn't think this would be an only blue. Is he big enough to lip? Oh, he is big enough to lip. I didn't know this was going to be a bluegill only trip. We could definitely take him home to fillet if we wanted to. If you guys want to see a catch and cook, we have not. I don't know the last time we did one of those, to be honest. We might have to do one sometime soon. Let's see how our Metacraw is doing. Still looks perfectly fine. Yep. we can most certainly do a catch and cook. It's been a bit since I've had fish. You got him. Little bluegill again. Decent bluegill or bass? There's no way that's a bluegill. That's got to be a bass. No way that's a bluegill. What are you? Ah, tis our bass. I knew we'd get one. Took longer than I thought it would. Oh no. Come on, buddy. Little guy, look at that. Super dark. Holy cow. Super dark. Oh. Finally got one. He's about as dark as you can possibly get. But we'll let him go. There we go. Finally got one. A little bit bigger. There aren't a ton of big fish in this lake. I have caught some big ones, but they're pretty rare. Oddly enough, like the bluegill and crappie are much bigger. Which you think they would have, the bass would have plenty of forage to get big, but for whatever reason, that's not the case. But we might have to end up upsizing just a tiny little bit to see if we can't get a few more bass to bite. Because the bluegill seem to have stopped eating this little metacraw. There's another one on the next cast. You got him? That's, I'm pretty sure, a bluegill. I don't think that's a bass. It is! Just as I was saying, they were, oh my gosh. Look at how he ate this thing. Got way too tight there. There we go. Look at how he ate that thing. You can barely see the craw. It's got a little bit of a weird spot on him. We're going to have to get the pliers for a bluegill with an EWG. That is crazy. Can't even see. There's the hook. Come on now. There we go. He's got some stuff going on his lips. Ew. No, thank you, buddy. All right. Yeah, we might go. They're finally starting to pick up a little bit better. But we might go ahead and upsize from this metacraw to something just a tad bigger to see if we can't catch a couple bass. One thing you will want to do if you are microfishing or anything else like that is you're obviously dragging this thing on the bottom quite a bit. And when you're using super light line, it's going to fray faster. So you're going to want to cut and retie probably a little more often than you think you need to. But we've got a little bit of fray there. Probably touched a rock or something. So we'll cut and retie. There's one. Get him. Get him. On the bigger bait, bigger worm. What do we got? Little bass? I mean, if it is a bass, it's tiny. It is bluegill. That's actually a big bait for a bluegill. There we go. On the worm. Let him go. So I put on the Flick Curly from Jackal. It's a 3.8 inch worm. Tiny, but it's got this crazy tail that puts out a ton of action. I didn't think we'd end up with a bluegill on this guy. Obviously they can eat worms, but I was thinking we'd end up with more bass, but there we go. Still waiting for a big bluegill though. Big bluegill. I wouldn't mind like a 2-pound bass. I don't know that it'll happen, but catching anything on an ultralight is so much fun. And I think it'd be a great way if you ended up having a kid that wanted to go out fishing and learn how to bass fish, especially initially, because you have the opportunity to teach them bass fishing techniques with having more bites than what you typically would for bass. Because you can obviously catch bass, you can catch bluegill, crappie, perch, just about everything. So it gives them more opportunity to learn. But, well, let's see if we can't catch some more. Get one. Get him. Oh, little gill. Where? Oh my gosh. Where is my hook? Where is my worm? Oh, holy cow. I can't believe he had the entire worm in his mouth. I thought the worm was gone. He had the entire worm and the entire hook in his mouth. These bluegill are so crazy aggressive. It's probably why the bass don't get very big in this lake. But there's another one. I didn't think switching over to this worm we'd have less bass bite. But hopefully towards dusk they do a little bit better. And as odd as it seems, even though I'm not very far from shore, this lake, even though it's not very big, we are fishing in like 16 or 18 foot of water. So we're just waiting to come across the right one. There's one. That one hit it hard. What are you? Is that a crappie? That is a crappie. I knew they'd be out here. There we go. Not a bad little crappie. Not a bad one at all. Probably a, I don't know, 10, 11 incher. Let him go. I saw too many fish popping on the surface to keep throwing the Carolina rig. So we've got just a tiny, I think it's called the Bee Vibe, tiny little swim bait on a, I don't even, it might be a 32nd ounce. I think when, a lot of times when you get into the super finesse stuff, they actually go in like grams and stuff like that. But after the sun started to drop, water starts to cool, fish get a little bit more active. You don't necessarily have to throw the Carolina rigs and things that aren't quite as much fun. There's another one. They start heating up on everything else. Is that a bluegill? Oh, that's insane. That is absolutely insane. For we literally, come on now, what are we doing here? We were literally reeling this thing in, and it choked the whole thing down there. I have to get pliers for that. That's crazy. I don't know what it is about this pond and why these panfish are so aggressive, but they are. It's only like a 6-inch one. They needed a 2-inch bait and ate the whole thing as we were reeling. But we're going to keep fishing like this because I've fished this lake enough to know that they're going to absolutely inhale this thing for a while, basically till sundown. There's one. It doesn't feel very big. I don't know if it's a crappie or a bluegill. I'm going to say bluegill. And I would be right. All the bluegill have been such different colored from one another. There we go. One's kind of purple on one side. All right. Let's get some more. I want one big one. One 10-inch gill. One 13-inch crappie. A 2-pound bass from this place would be massive. There's one. Bluegill, I'm guessing. Better? No, we're skiing them in. Oh, I was wrong. We've got a crappie. A small one. Small one, small one. There we go. Little guy. There's one. Right on that stump. Little crappie. Right on that stump. Whoop. Again, that is look how deep that thing is in there. And we're not letting them eat it or anything. They're just eating it that aggressively. There we go. That one's like that's like a 6.5-inch crappie. There's one. Oh, missed him. Got his buddy. What? How small is this thing? Oh, okay. Maybe he was just swimming at me. I was about to say, this is a 3-inch. Oh, it's a gill. I'll say that was a 3-inch fish. Another one. Off this stump, we have caught a crappie and a bluegill. Can we get a bass? Oh no, that might be the end of our lure though. Oh no. We'll have to go over there and try and get it. There's one. Little guy. Oh, he's underneath me. Oh, dude, he swam quick. Holy, oh my gosh. And, oh, another one that got the whole thing down there. That is crazy. The whole worm is down his mouth. Come on now. There we go. The whole thing. That's about an 8.5-inch gill. A little bit better. We put on the Carolina rig again, because that's what we set out to catch them on. And short of a couple crappie, we have actually caught better fish on this thing. Both on the metacraw and the flick curly tail worm. There's one. Get him. Are you bigger? No, not really. Where's my worm? Did he take my worm? He got like pinned well on the side. I don't know if my worm's still on there. Oh yeah, he's still on there. Just another one to absolutely choke the whole thing down there. Come on, there we go. There's our worm. Thing had to be half digested. Let him go. I don't know where the bass are today. I know they've been rough to catch, but... Oh, he finally tore off a bit of our worm. We'll put a new one on. Yeah, we could probably use this still. Just be a little bit shortened. There's one. Get him. Oh, hold on here. Do we have... Oh, no. Oh, don't go in there. Look at that. We have our second bass. He smoked it too. Second bass of the day. We'll get him unhooked. Let him go. That's probably the last one for tonight, to be honest. It's getting dark out. Alright, let him go. I can't believe the bass fishing was that rough. I knew it'd be rough because it has been, which is why we obviously went fishing with our Carolina rig, and especially happy that we ended up microfishing, because without as many bluegill and crappie as we caught, today would have been pretty awful, which is the benefit of microfishing for sure. Especially if you're fishing with kids or anything else like that, give them a little bit more entertainment, a little bit more opportunity to learn. But if you guys like the microfishing videos, by all means let me know, and we can most certainly do more of these, and probably go to some lakes where there are actually some bigger bass. It's loads of fun when you catch anything decent on an ultralight. But and again, if you guys are wanting to see any sort of catch and cooks, let me know what species. We can most certainly do that. And yeah, go see if we can't catch some fish. Again, I haven't had some fish in a while. But as always, if you guys like the video, if you wouldn't mind liking, and if you want to see more videos like it, if you wouldn't mind subscribing, that'd be greatly appreciated also. Until next one.